an individual today in Virginia's history that's, I think, important to note. This person was born in Petersburg to two parents working at Virginia State University. Went to high school in Chesterfield, graduated as valedictorian of their class, and went on to University of Richmond to study English and political science, and went on to pursue a law degree at the University of Virginia. It's not often that you get to see someone in Virginia history and meet that person and sort of watch them from afar, and also engage with that person over the last 30 years. The individual also has served in the General Assembly for 16 years, serving in the House of Delegates from 2006 to 2017, and here in the State Senate from 2017 till present. And obviously the individual has a beautiful family, and I think we've all probably seen this individual's passion for social justice, for schools, for the environment, and so many other causes, that the tone and tenure and thoughtfulness of the individual has, I think, always brought the respect of their peers. And so, as we look at historical figures, it is not often that we have one of those in our midst. And of course, today I'm speaking of the Honorable Congresswoman-Elect Jennifer McClellan, representing the 4th Virginia House District, being the first to break an important barrier. But more importantly, she's also recognized those who have paved the path for her, as she stated so often about the 4th and its meaning. And so, Madam President, I wanted to take a moment of personal privilege to congratulate the next Congresswoman from the 4th. Thank you, Madam President.
Chair recognizes Senator McClellan, the senior senator from Richmond.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise for a point of personal privilege.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Yesterday was a bittersweet day for me. Number one, because I couldn't help but remember that we had lost a friend and a colleague. And I never thought I would make history in quite that way. So I'm clearly elated, excited, and honored. When people have asked me, what's it like running for Congress and serving in the state Senate at the same time, I said it as a joke, but I think it's the best analogy I could give. I said, I feel like I'm in my senior year of high school. And yesterday was Admissions Day, a day that I'd been anxiously awaiting. I'm excited to go on to the next adventure, but I'm gonna miss the place that shaped me. Some of you don't know, and some of you are here, but I got my start in this body. As a college student at the University of Richmond, I signed up for an internship class, working then for Governor Wilder in his policy office. I was assigned to 4 committees to track his legislation, 3 House committees and the Senate Local Government Committee. And I would sit in the gallery. I liked to sit on the Senate side better. And I ended up doing a paper on the then Lieutenant Governor, Don Beyer, because I had to do an independent study. And I'm like, well, nobody knows what the Lieutenant Governor does, so let me write about that. So I would sit over in the corner and watch the session. And Senator Howe, Senator Saslaw, Senator Lucas, I remember them vividly. And that's where my love of state government was solidified. And I said, I think I want to be a part of that. But I actually went to law school first wanting to go work, be a lawyer to a congressional committee. but as I've often found, life is what happens when you're making other plans. But I spent my senior year in college working in my first paid job other than at Golden Corral, working for Madam Clerk. When her office was where the members' lounge is, the corner closet, I had a chair right there where I would answer the phones. Members could call a 1-800 number and get connected to any state agency or any other number in the Richmond area code. One senator in particular loved that feature, Senator Good. And I had very many fond memories, but I watched the Senate. And I was excited to get elected to the House and spend 11 years there. And when I came back as a member of this body, I remember thinking, I've returned home. I've learned a lot from all of you. And I'm sorry he's not here to hear this, but because I told the senator from James City County what I'm about to say might surprise him. I learned a lot from Tommy Norman. I learned a lot from Steve Newman. I learned a lot from Mark Obenshane about how even when you don't agree with people, you listen respectfully and you try to understand where they're coming from, and they made me better legislators. I learned a lot from Jill Vogel, how sometimes disappointment can give you an opportunity to show grace. I'm going to get in trouble not mentioning everybody here, but I definitely wanted to mention, because a lot of times people don't realize how much you learn from your political adversaries. And I consider all of you to be friends. I learned a lot of stories. Heard a lot of stories from Senator Sassaw. Did you know that his family used to be involved with the mafia? Or that he was hung out of a window by his ankles by his teacher? True stories. I will take those stories with me. I'll take everything I learned about how to be a good legislator with me. And in those moments, when I get frustrated by the slower pace in Washington, I will probably turn on, if it's in January or February or March, or one day in April, the live stream of the Senate. I will just be a text away. And I thank you all for making me part of your family and for making me, especially you, Madam Clerk, making me the public servant and the legislator I am today. Thank you.